It is actually insane how many people do this on Instagram. I can't even go on Instagram without finding at least one person who clearly edits their body in their pictures. This is an issue that has been going on for quite some time on the internet, but I feel like as Instagram grows more and as more influencers get on there, it's just getting worse and worse. And it's harmful for a couple of different reasons. Firstly, that if you're editing all of your pictures to make your body look a certain way, and you do that for every single picture that you post, you're eventually gonna develop some sort of issue with a disconnect between yourself in real life and yourself in these pictures. And then of course there's the problem with the people who see these pictures, the viewer. It's usually more harmful than anything, because if you're making your pictures look a certain way that is actually unattainable and is what most people don't look like, they're probably gonna feel bad about themselves. Like, I just don't really understand why so many people seem to be putting this stuff out there. I'm gonna look at a few that I found in I didn't even do that much research, you guys. I just went on my Instagram and looked at the people I was following, looked at the Explore page. And just to give a quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to demonize these people by any means. I know that there are bigger problems in the world than what some random person that I don't know is doing with their pictures, but my reason for speaking on it is to inform people, because it seems to me that most people buy into these pictures and think they're real, whereas I think that it should be mostly the opposite. Most people should know that it's fake. And a lot of people do know, but just in case you don't, I want to spread the message that these bodies aren't real, and it's okay if your body doesn't look like this. In fact, it's normal and good, so.
Let's take a look.
So, of course, I follow more people that are alternative, like alternative models, alternative fashion companies, and yeah, I'm not really in the fitness world. I'm not in I don't follow Instagram models unless they're somewhat alternative, like they have tattoos or, whatever it is. Now this is something I've seen a few different times. Girl, okay. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you with 100% certainty that this is photoshopped, because I don't know, but I mean, come on though. It has to be, right? Whose waist looks like that? It's possible, but think about how easy it is to just go in with the Photoshop tool and just take it in a little bit. Maybe these people have bodies that are pretty close to this, but they just feel the need to take it another step and take in their waist just a little and maybe move out their hips just a little, so that it's still believable, but it's unrealistic. Who has a body like this? Who? Does this girl even have a body like this? I don't know. I don't know much about Photoshop because I've never downloaded it, but this picture looks pretty real just because of the thing that she has around her waist. I don't know how good results you can get with Photoshop, but this waist though, come on, you're not telling me that this is your waist and then that's the rest of your body. It just can't be. And the problem is that most people are buying this. I don't see that many people questioning it. I see a lot of people being like, wow, body goals, wow, I wish I had this body, wow, do you waist train, what do you do? And maybe they waist train, whatever, I still don't really completely know what that means. Maybe they work out a lot, maybe it's surgery, or maybe they just took a few extra minutes and just went in and with the Photoshop or whatever, Facetune, I don't know, just slim their waist a little bit. From what I understand, it's pretty easy to do that. It's more believable to me that these pictures would be edited than it is that this would be how someone looks in real life. This one, I'm not so sure if it's edited, but again, like the tiny waist thing, it's just everywhere. And I don't know anyone whose waist actually looks like this. Now this next person, it is extremely clear to me that this person is photoshopping. In fact, I showed one of their pictures to my friend who photoshops herself, and she was in an instant like, that's photoshopped. And my problem is that this person claims that it's 100% real. When people are like, wow, how'd you get that waist? They're like, this is just my waist, you know, like woke up like this is just what I look like. It's just like, come on. I'm sure this person has a really great body in real life, but it doesn't look this perfect in real life. I can tell you that 100%. Either they're moving their hips out, hips and thighs it looks like, out, or they're moving their waist in, or it's both. But this combination going on here, it's not real. And like, I don't want to call these people out. I don't want to expose them. So I'm not going to mention their names because I really don't want to start any beef. That's the last thing that I want, is for someone to be angry with me. But I'm just showing you these because the fact that people don't know that this is fake, I just can't let that go. I need everybody to know because it's harmful if they think it's real. Like, they see this and then they look at themselves and they're like, there's no possible way I could look anything like that, even if I work out, even if I eat well. I'm not gonna suddenly like get a really tiny waist and really huge hips and booty and whatnot. So yeah, okay, I found a picture. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna put this in, but I found a picture of this girl that she was tagged in, and I mean, she looks amazing still. Like, her body is great. It looks like it's in great shape, but it's not like the way that she portrays it on her own page. Like, come on, girl. It's a little bit out of control. You just need to tone it down. And then I kind of went beyond the scope of people that I follow and tried to search for Instagram models that were popular that I didn't know of but that had a large following, and I found quite a lot. These are just a few that I found within like the first few minutes of searching for Instagram models. But like, come on. Like, I'm sure this person's body looks great, but it's not, it doesn't look like, the waist doesn't do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Especially if you have like really big thighs and butt. It's just like either you're skinny or you're curvy, you know? Not everyone can have both. Very few people actually look like this in real life. Like, the amount of people that look like this on Instagram is completely disproportionate to the amount of people you'll see in real life who look like this. So what does that tell you? Photoshop. And then of course there's people have made videos about her. I don't know anything about her, but I know that this picture is photoshopped. For sure. I honestly think if you have a huge following, it's irresponsible to do things like this because you're hurting more people than you're helping. I've seen some of these people preaching positivity in their captions and like body positivity and all sorts of positivity, but it's still very clear to me that they're editing their photos, which I think is really, it's interesting. Like, at least they're trying to put out a positive message, but they still can't let go of this perfect photoshopped image of themselves. They're not willing to go that far to preach positivity. They still have to look perfect, but they'll just speak positivity. Which, I mean, at least they're trying, okay? So that's not all bad, but I'm just saying. I would say the solution to this is just either stop editing your pictures or be honest. And like, okay, I don't have a problem with editing because it's cool to see your body in a really like sort of like dream body way. You're like, oh wow, like, I don't know, whatever. But if you could just like post a larger percentage of real pictures than you do of fake ones, and maybe acknowledge that the fake ones are fake. Like, I edited this, doesn't it look so cool? Or like, imagine if my body was like this, isn't it cool? Because people are still going to see it and they're still going to appreciate the photo for what it is, you know? If they read the caption and then they're like, oh, okay, this person doesn't quite look like this in real life, they're not gonna be like, oh, they're probably ugly and gross in real life. They probably look like shit. They're still gonna appreciate the picture, and they're gonna have a lot less of a negative feeling about themselves when they see it. They're not gonna compare themselves. They're not gonna wonder why they don't have a body like that. And it's crazy that these huge influencers see all these comments of people being like, I wish I had that body, like, do you waist train, do you work out? And they either don't say anything or they respond saying that it's natural or whatever, waist train, working out, but they never acknowledge that it's an edited photo. And people seem to really believe it. I don't see a lot of people questioning them at all, at least in their comment section. Maybe they delete comments, but I just can't believe this. I need to let everyone know, like, be very skeptical of any image like this that you see, okay? Like, these are just what I found in like a few minutes of research. Imagine if I spent like a whole day collecting things. I would have too much to even be able to show you, you know? So in conclusion, either you don't Photoshop or you're honest about it. I think that's the only way that this can work. Because the way that this is going is just in a dangerous direction, and it makes me very angry, honestly. Like, seriously, guys. Seriously. Like, if you're gonna Photoshop every picture, I would prefer that you didn't, but if you're one of those people that admits it, like, I know Tana Mojo admits that she, like, Facetunes or whatever it is on her Instagram photos, and it's kind of like common knowledge that she does that, but she still does it and she still looks amazing in her Instagram. And I think that's cool. It's not like the ideal situation, but that's so much better to me than not admitting it. I can still like appreciate her pictures, you know what I mean? Like, I can still look on her Instagram and be like, wow, look at all these super hot pictures. I'm not like looking at them and thinking, oh, she probably looks so ugly in the original. You know, like I don't think people think like that. Maybe they do, but I don't. So I think people need to not be afraid to be real, admit the truth, or just don't edit. Like, I get it, you want to look nice in your photos. I Photoshop out my pimples sometimes, and I still make it clear that I don't have perfect skin as much as I can. So like, I get wanting to look nice in a photo. It probably gets you more followers, I don't know, or like whatever, but is it really worth it, girl? Like, for a bunch of strangers to think that you're hot, like, is it really worth it? Especially if you already have followers. They're gonna love you just as much if you post real photos. That's the funniest thing, is that I feel like most of these people who edit their waist really tiny and then their hips really big actually do have pretty good bodies in real life, as far as I know, as far as I can tell. Like, do you really have to go that extra step to make yourself look a little bit more like an hourglass and make everybody else feel horrible about themselves because they believe it? I mean, I'm all for letting people do whatever they want, you know, like, it's really none of my business at the end of the day, but it's just a ridiculous behavior that I think would be awesome if it was stopped and if more people called them out on this. Yeah, I mean, you can have fun with Photoshop all you want. Like, as I said, if you Photoshop some of your pictures, that's totally fine, but you should be honest about it and you should present it in a way that makes it clear that this is not what you look like, and it's not what you look like in every picture, and it's not what you look like in real life. Because you're doing the same thing that like magazines have been criticized for forever, like putting out these impossible beauty standards for women and harming a bunch of people. Like, certain people will starve themselves, or, you know, like wear these really tight waist things that, I don't know anything about waist training, but that can't be good for you to like squish everything in all the time, you know, like, it just, I'm sure you look amazing without that. Like, just put it out there and then have fun if you want to with Photoshop, but only do that for some of your pictures, and tell people what you're doing so that you're not harming anyone but you're still having fun. That's my advice. Let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.